When cheaters get banned for legit reasons, it makes sense, it feels good, justice has been served. But when people get banned for dumb reasons, it's not quite the same thing. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 gamers banned for dumb reasons, part 2. Now in the original, we covered some stuff that maybe people should have known better for, but the most insane one I remember in the last one was when they banned Battlefield 1 players for being too good at the game. If you want to go back to that one, it's a good video. But without any further ado, starting at number 10, banned for leaving a negative review. So the Steam review system is its own idiotic minefield, but this story is especially dumb. Yes, there is a constant stream of troll reviews flooding this platform at any given moment. Somebody says something somebody doesn't like, so that means the game is bad and we all have to review bomb it, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it really sucks when somebody takes the time to play something, writes an honest review with constructive criticism in it, and gets banned. This story comes courtesy of a user by the name of Oshrenstein from the Steam subreddit, and they recount what happened. They downloaded a mod for Company of Heroes called Europe at War, played it, and left a review that wasn't even that negative, but it still got a bunch of attention from both the mod developers and the forum's moderator, who got really defensive in the comments. Obviously, it's fine for a developer to disagree with somebody's review, but they went so far as to flag the review for abuse and got them banned permanently from the community hub. Now, that's not exactly the worst punishment in the world, but considering all they did was post a pretty inoffensive review, it doesn't look too good for the developers. The user even claims that the mod developers wanted them to change the review and apologize, and they'd lift the ban. So that's kind of possibly really scummy on top of being petty. So as far as bans go, it's pretty small potatoes, because it's coming not just from an indie developer, but a literal mod developer. An excellent example of how petty people can abuse even the smallest amounts of power when they get access to it. At number 9, a user was banned for harassment via username. To say Twitch can be kind of arbitrary about how it hands out punishments might be the understatement of the century, but usually the ban reason is either something that makes sense or goes completely unexplained. But for this entry, the reason for the ban is mostly just confusing. As told by Kotaku, there's a Minecraft Twitch streamer who goes by George Not Found. Like a lot of other streamers, George had a backup account called This Is Not George Not Found, which got banned back in March of 2021. The reason, well, according to a Twitch email at least, was for using an inappropriate username. So don't really know what's inappropriate of this. I don't understand that at all. But on March 14th, there was some clarification because for some reason, the account was banned again. This time, the reason was harassment via username. So what was probably happening is Twitch thought somebody was trying to impersonate George with a similar username, but it seems like with IP addresses or email addresses or something, they should be able to tell the same guy owns both accounts. I mean, this apparently totally fake account had over 300,000 followers, which you'd think would give Twitch some pause before permanently banning it as a fake account, right? Well, I guess not, because they banned it anyway. But later in the same day, the account was unbanned, so who really has any idea? At number 8, banned for getting hacked. This one goes all the way back for 2012. Not banned for hacking, which is, of course, definitely worthy of being banned for. This is banned for getting hacked. Somebody hacked the person, and the person who got hacked got banned. As written on this now defunct blog from way back on the website Cheap Ass Gamer, a user shared their experience dealing with the then recent problem with hacking and Microsoft's subpar efforts to deal with it. Somebody had their account stolen and it got migrated to Russia. When they reported it, Microsoft didn't do anything. It took a complaint filed to the Better Business Bureau to get Microsoft to actually act. And when he finally managed to get access to his account, he found that it was permanently banned for suspicious behavior. It's unclear exactly what was going on, but it's likely the hackers were using their account before it was stolen as a way to access more accounts. Basically, they were using an already broken account to steal other people's accounts, and when it was finally burned, they fully stole the account by migrating it to Russia. But instead of coming to that, frankly, fairly obvious conclusion, the Microsoft support team decided to just ban this guy's hijacked account so they couldn't access any of their digital game games and licenses and all that crap. Even though the guy was very, very clearly hacked, the support team decided to punish the victim by banning their account entirely. It was a misguided and stupid move by Microsoft. Xbox support, still not the best, but a lot better compared to back then. At number 7, somebody got banned for killing a developer and escaped from Tarkov. This is always a story you hear, but some developer abusing their powers in an online game to punish people they don't like. It does happen. Most of the time, these are nothing but that, just stories. But again, it does happen. This case is one where the guy who got banned came with receipts. In this post by user InterestingAd1513, the user explains how they killed an admin, actually just a developer of the popular extraction shooter, Escape from Tarkov, and then only moments later found themselves disconnected from the game and banned. The footage basically speaks for itself. Like, pretty much everybody agrees in the comments that this is legit. It seems to be a somewhat common complaint on the Reddit of false bans, or people getting banned for pointless or vindictive reasons while actual cheaters still seem to roam free. You know, this post proves that it's happened at least once, and like I said, it happens sometimes. The developer is, no real surprise here, not talking about it. They did eventually reverse the ban, but in the process, this guy's account was reset, and the developers never actually restored the character. Escape from Tarkov is already an extremely challenging game. Last thing players should have to worry about is salty developers banning them. And number 6, banned for maining one character in both Overwatch 1 and 2. Some things just never change. Whether it's Overwatch in 2017 or Overwatch 2 in 2022, players seem to get banned for the unacceptable crime of choosing to play as one character. The whole point of hero shooters is to select your favorites, right? But along with that, there's the issue of teamwork and playing as a character that isn't just your favorite, but the one that works best for the team. So it's at least somewhat understandable that people get annoyed for, choosing to play the same character over and over. Banning seems a little extreme, but it happened. In 2017, the ban controversy mostly seemed to stem from Blizzard trying to figure out how to enforce teamwork, while the complaints I've seen in 2022 seem to have a little bit more of a specific issue. Back when Overwatch 2 first came out, Doomfist was severely nerfed. Most dedicated Doomfist mains moved on, but some stubbornly stuck to the character, even as teammates just hated them. One user got so angry at them that they apparently got a 1-month ban just for playing as Doomfist. So many teammates reported the player to the automated reporting system for, things that they didn't do, and the automated thing was like, well, there's so many reports, so that must be, it's real, right? I'm a computer. So rather than vindictive developers, these players are getting banned because of angry players who go as far to falsely report somebody just for picking the wrong character. It's dumb either way, because players should just be able to play as who they want without the fear of being banned. But it does also suck with somebody playing as an utterly useless character. And not once, like repeatedly. So I get it. I definitely don't condone it. I think that is the opposite of what they should do. But I get it, at least. Like, I understand it. And number 5, banned for teaming with a cheater in PUBG. Cheating in online multiplayer games is obviously a serious problem. It wrecks the game for everybody involved, but the response sometimes seems to end up hurting the innocent as much as the guilty. Like, I've seen a lot of stories of these big ban waves where PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds players, don't get me wrong, a lot of the bans are legitimate, but a lot of the players are just playing the game. Like, if you've played PUBG, it's likely you've seen this message. You have been banned, which almost always comes with a 72-hour ban with the reason unusual gameplay patterns. Basically, the game thinks you're cheating even if it can't actually tell. This usually follows if your gameplay is somehow much better than normal, which normally would be worth looking into, but the automatic system goes way overboard. The big problem is that you don't have to be doing all that well. If your team does well, like you randomly group with some very high skill players, that could count for the cheat detection as well. The spike in, I guess, team average? Maybe? I don't know. The biggest and most common problem is when you do randomly get grouped with a cheater, though. If there's just one cheater detected on a team, it's likely everybody on that team, legit or not, is going to get banned. It's a big reason why many players recommend only playing with people you know, because if the game catches a cheater, everybody gets smacked. Not just the cheater. It sucks, but that's how it is. At least these bans are short, but that doesn't make them not annoying, especially if you're one of the many people who, aren't cheating. I'm all for punishing cheater, but does everybody who is just in the proximity of a cheater, who matchmaking put into the game with a cheater, do they need to be punished too? No, that's very stupid. And number 4 is banned for panties in Elden Ring. Now, if you think that sounds very confusing, I'll go ahead and explain it to you. Like a lot of FromSoft games, there's a lot of cut content that can still somehow be accessed in Elden Ring. This includes the Deathbed Smalls, an infamous piece of underwear worn by the Deathbed Companion NPC. It was either originally meant to be obtained by the player or is some piece of content they've yet to officially release, but either way, developers don't want players to have it and hand out bans to people who are caught with it. Now, it's ridiculous enough that just having a pair of panties can get you banned, but you don't even have to be one of the hackers accessing game files for it to be a problem. Like, if a player wants to be malicious, they can bring one of these items into a multiplayer game with them, drop them on the ground, and somebody who picks them up, even if they don't know what it is or why it's there, they can get flagged by the game's anti-cheat and get banned for having an unattainable item. Now, for a little while there, some players were going around ruining everybody's fun by deliberately dropping banned items and getting people banned. Eventually, From just made it so you can't drop or pick up these items, period, in an effort to stop trolls from getting innocent players banned. What makes it particularly ridiculous, though, is that it involves underwear. It revolves around undies, which is just goofy. And number 3, banned for trying to refund fraudulent charges. You probably heard the story about Epic getting hit with like a $275 million fee by the FTC, probably one of the largest settlements of its kind, and while it is a drop in the bucket compared to Fortnite's yearly revenue, it's still an important ruling for consumer rights. Going along with that settlement, Epic is also dealing with a $245 million proposed settlement involving unwanted in-game purchases, which only recently made it very easy for kids to buy stuff on the Epic store without parental consent. Seriously, there wasn't even basic CVV confirmation. Back when the Epic Games Store first opened up, it was wide open to fraud. There wasn't even a basic email confirmation needed to make accounts. Combine that with the incredibly lax credit card protection, and it was clear that fraudulent charges were depressingly common on the platform. Up until 2021, there wasn't even a system in place for refunds, so if parents wanted to charge back on $500 their dumb kids spent on V-Bucks, or if your account got hacked and your credit card was used for purchases against your will, the only thing you could really do was trigger a chargeback with your credit card company or bank. Epic did not like that, and it was part of their written policy to ban any account with multiple chargebacks, no matter what the reason was. Of course, it was their fault that people were forced to use chargebacks at all, but they didn't care as long as the money was rolling in. It wasn't until the FTC started sniffing around that Epic finally introduced a refund policy of some kind. It's still not perfect, but obviously Epic giving us something over nothing is better, but their short-sighted policy of punishing users trying to get a refund was incredibly stupid, and it, along with a lot of the other boneheaded things they did, ended up costing them pretty big time. And number 2 is being banned for confusing a fake militia with a real one. This is a dumb story that came courtesy of PC Gamer. Facebook in 2020 was trying to clean up their image some, so they banned a whole bunch of organizations from their website that quote-unquote support violent acts amid protests. It's a sensible move. Obviously, you don't want people using Facebook to organize violent acts or whatever. I don't really fully understand. But there was one outlier, the Free States Militia. What makes it different from all the other militias on this list? It only exists in the fictional world of Fallout 76. Like, Facebook took down a page that belonged to a private Fallout 76 role-playing group. It was not a real militia, it was a fantasy one. Somehow, Facebook managed to get this clearly fake organization mixed up with a hate group. So, like so many things on this list, the problem probably just boils down to automation, and the AI they used to flag these groups probably saw militia in the title and assumed the worst. Facebook eventually did own up to it, but as reported by PC Gamer, there's still a lot of groups claiming to be real-life militias that haven't been taken down. That's Facebook for you, though. Ask them to do even the most basic thing, like don't confuse role players for illegal armies, and they still screw it up. And finally, at number 1, banned for being in the wrong town. Easily the dumbest ban I've ever seen. Before I get into this one, I want to stress that this is a real name, not a troll or a joke, but this guy's actual town is called this, And it's not a thing I made up, or the news made up, or the guy made up, or anything even vaguely not real is involved with. This is the Associated Press headline. Xbox blocks West Virginia gamer over town's name. Fort Gay. Yeah, a guy named Josh Moore got banned by Xbox in 2010 because he put his location as Fort Gay, West Virginia. And even after he tried to explain to Microsoft support that it's a real town, he was still warned not to put the location in his profile. Hilariously, the mayor got involved and support didn't do anything still, saying that the town name was inappropriate regardless of context. The whole thing sounds like a bad SNL sketch, but it really happened. It took the chief of Xbox Live Police, Stephen Toulos, to step in and reverse the decision before the guy could get his account back. And also, I'll add that today I learned there is a chief of Xbox Live Police, which is also ridiculous. Every aspect of this is completely ridiculous. Like, just look at some of the quotes from this article. The whole thing is gold. Ban reasons they don't get much dumber than this. They could have taken 2 seconds to check to see if the town was real or not, but someone just had to make things difficult for this guy. Ridiculous.
And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable all notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.